out here today shooting the Glock 41, which is a full-size 45 ACP. Now it's slimmer than the Glock 21, which is the other 45 ACP full-size from Glock. It's made more in line with the Glock 34 or 35 series. Now this video is going to be a little different than most of my other videos. This extreme cold weather and this snow, I'm not going to drag out my big camera. We're going to do this video with 99% with the GoPro. I may come back and get some other stuff in, but it's going to be mostly a GoPro video. Sorry if it makes you feel sick. Some people say it makes them feel kind of sick watching them, but I've got this pistol for a week, so this is not going to be like a durability review or anything. More of a first impressions, I guess. But a fellow YouTuber loaned this to me and he's picking it back up Sunday, so I can't wait for the weather to get nice enough to get my good cameras out, so we're going to deal with this. Anyway, like I was saying, here's my Glock 34. Here's the Glock 41. You can see the 34 being the 9mm, of course. You can see the slides are the same width. Get a better look at it here. The slides are the same width on both those guns. The 45 is just a touch longer. The 45 doesn't have the cutout that the 9mm has on the slide, but it does have it has a cutout here that you don't see on the 9mm, and they do that. They remove some of the steel to lighten the slide, where it's a longer slide, but they need to keep it lighter. So, and you can see in here, hopefully I'm getting this in the lens of the camera, you can see they have machined some of the steel away, but they didn't go all the way through like they did on the 9mm. And they took that pocket right there out. But what they ended up with is a slide that's a couple or 3 ounces lighter than the Glock 21 slide, which previously was the full-size Glock 45 ACP before this one came along. I'm holding everything awkward. I'm trying to hold it to where I've got it out here in front of the camera, but alright, let's shoot it a little more. I've got some MagTech here, 230 grain. Let's try them. Oh, didn't have my mag seated. You can see he's put a set of Trijicon night sights on here. That seems to be a popular upgrade for, especially for what he's using this gun for, which is primarily home defense. Recoil on the 45 ACP, of course, is more of a push than a snap. Really manageable. They've done a good job managing the recoil with this gun. Get back on really quick. It does have the accessory reel. He's got a light that he keeps on it. I took the light off for now. I just wanted to showcase the gun and not so much the light, but you can mount lights or lasers or any other accessory. You left them out there. Got some Winchester white box here. Again, 230 grain. Let's try them out. The trigger is, you know, some people would choose this gun for competition because it is a full size. You know, it seems like a giant gun. You know, you got the big thick grip. I'm used to shooting the 9mm 40 caliber sized, but some people would choose this for competition because it's 1911 sized, especially in the length and height. It's right at the same size as a 1911. The trigger is not really what I would call a competition trigger. It's they call it a practical tactical. I guess the trigger would fall more under the practical side. It's about like a trigger on a 19 or a 23. But like most Glock triggers, it's got a great reset. You really feel that trigger reset. See what else we've got here. It comes with the interchangeable back straps that you can add. Beaver tail if you need a beaver tail. I've never needed one. I've never had any problem with slide bite, but they're there if that's something you've had problem with. I love the grip on the Gen 4s. They're really grippy, I guess you would say, but kind of like little pyramids there, little sharp points, really easy to hold on to. I did put the granulated style Talon grips on my Glock 34. Albatross 497 recommended that I try them out. I tell you what, I really like them. I'll probably end up putting those on all my guns, all my pistols. Alright, now you can see what they've done. This is pretty much a Glock 21 frame, but they brought the slide out longer, so that gives you a little more sight radius. All other things being equal on a gun, a longer sight radius is going to allow you to shoot that gun, allow you to get a little more accuracy out of that gun, make it easier to shoot. So even though it's not that much, it's probably going to help a little bit, especially if you're shooting longer range. We'll try a few here at longer range. Let me see. Let me load up a couple magazines. Alright, we got a magazine of the Winchester white box loaded up. Man, you can see we had a pretty good snowfall here. At least for my area. We don't normally get these big heavy snows. It seems like we used to when I was a kid, but nowadays we just seem to get an inch or two here and there. Alright, we're back here. This is my 40-yard mark, so we're 40 yards back. That's not extreme range, but that's about as far as you're ever going to have an encounter where you're defending yourself or your home or whatever, or if you're shooting competition. You're rarely going to ever see a shot longer than 40 yards, so let's see if I can hit with it. I think the sights are right on. Yep, just so long as I can do my part. I am really surprised at the light recoil. Try for one of those diamond shaped ones there on the left. Oops. There it is. I think I pulled to the left on that one. Got him dialed in now. Just takes a little more concentration on a smaller target. But these Winchester white box seem to be running pretty good in it. Another thing I've noticed that this 45 here will drop right into my holster that I use for the Glock 34. And that holster was originally bought for my Glock 23. So, Glock is kind of the small block Chevy of the shooting world. Lots of accessories and parts interchange, which most of you guys already know that. But let's get this 34 back together before I lose something out of it. I'll do a video on that thing. I know I keep saying I'm going to do a video on this 34, and I still haven't got around to it. I've made a few changes to it I want to share with y'all. Just haven't got around to doing that yet. But since that's my gun, I can take my time with it, and I'll get to it when I get to it. So, as I'm loading these magazines, you can see that it being a Gen 4, it is cut out for the mag release on both sides. You can switch this magazine around, or you can switch this mag release around if you're a lefty. No problems. Tell you what, I've got 2 magazines loaded up. That's enough. My fingers are getting numb out here. Into my holster. This other mag in my pocket. Let's see here. Another thing I would mention about this gun is the balance. If you don't have that good balance, it makes the gun hard to shoot. This gun seems to be really well balanced. Feels really good. Got that push recoil of the 45 ACP round. You guys know what I'm talking about if you shot before. Just a great handgun. You know, you've seen one Glock Gen 4, or one Glock period, you've seen them all pretty much, as the old saying goes. But it seems like they're always bringing us something new. This came out last year. Now this year they've got this same gun with the cutout for the optic, new this year. So they do one thing and they do it well, like everybody says, but they are also trying to stay on top of stuff and bring us something new. The thing is, the thing everybody likes about Glocks, or that I in particular like about Glocks, is they're so simple. The more you change it, the more you hurt it. You can't improve on a Glock by adding bells and whistles. They're just what makes them so great is their simplicity. You'll notice, you guys, some of you probably already noticed, I'm shooting 10 round magazines in this Glock. Now why in the world would a Kentucky boy be shooting low capacity magazines? Well, this gun belongs to a friend of mine, R.E. Bars. He runs a YouTube channel too. You guys check him out. I'll put a link in the description below this video. His channel's kind of gone dormant right now. He's looking at moving south out of New York, hence the 10 round magazines. You know, they're kind of saddled with some crazy laws up there right now. But these will work with just your standard Glock 21 magazines, which will bring your capacity up to a more standard capacity for a gun of this size. But he's working on getting out of there, and he was nice enough. He was passing through Kentucky, and he'll be coming back through on Sunday. He was nice enough to let me keep his gun for about a week and play with it and get some video of it, take some pictures of it, get a little range time with it. And I'll tell you what, you know, I say this every time I get a loaner gun that I end up really liking, but this just may be my next Glock purchase right here. Glock 41.